much time. You see, something's going to happen. You must leave. What? What's going to happen?
Mistake them for the truth. The real danger is that if we hear enough lies, then we no longer recognize the truth at all.
Why would I have anything to say to you? All you do is lie.
What else is left but to abandon even the hope of truth and content ourselves instead with stories?
It's the role of good journalism to take on powerful abuses. And when powerful abuses are taken on, there is always a back reaction.
Take an animal virus and you increase its transmissibility to humans. Right. You're saying that's not gain of function?
That is correct. And Senator Paul, you do not know what you are talking about, quite frankly. And I want to say that officially.
When you report fake news, which CNN does a lot, you are the enemy of the people. Go ahead.
Is the reality of goodness, not the perception of it. And what I see all over the place is people who care about looking good while doing evil. Fuck them. Okay?
Welcome back, all you lovely people. It's me, your favorite president, Donald J. Trump. Happy 4th of July, or as I like to call it, America Day. The best day. I don't say that, but other people say that. They say that America is the best country in the world. Now, I'm here to address all of you watching on this incredibly influential show. Joe Rogan wanted me on, but I said no. I'm gonna go on Habbening TV and talk via brain chip through this mouse. It's a great mouse. So they say one of the best. Many people have been asking me about the Epstein files tragedy. What happened to Jeffrey? Of course, I knew him. I knew him well. I knew that he liked to hang out with a lot of young girls, but I didn't know anything about the alleged abuses taking place on that lovely little island of his, which of course I've never been to. Now, many people, including myself, were saying that once I got elected and we got into power, we would release the Epstein files. We'd let all the people know who all the horrible people running the Democrat deep state were and what they were up to with underage children. But it turns out, You won't believe it. I was only just told this myself, actually, as it turns out, that actually there is no list. Epstein did, in fact, kill himself. There's nothing suspicious at all about it. The FBI has told me that there's nothing suspicious about it at all, and basically, I think they're right. We don't really want to go digging too far in this. Don't look back in anger. Now is a time for healing. It's not important about who blackmailed who, especially not me. Of course, I've never been blackmailed. I'd never be in that position. If there's one thing I learned from my mentor, Ray Cohen, it's never ever stay in strange hotels with young women. That's how they get you. And it has nothing to do with the negotiations in the Middle East and a certain intelligence agency that should remain nameless, of course. One of the best intelligence agencies, or so I've heard. I basically have to say that. There's nothing to see about the Epstein files. I know I said that I would release them, but it turns out that there wasn't really anything to see. So it looks like the Epstein files will now join the long list of U.S. government oopsies that have been, completely resolved with absolutely no questions asked, much like the Kennedy assassination, 9/11, Operation Northwoods, the Tuskegee experiment, MK Ultra, and just all of the things that really it's not worth thinking about. We've got a great, big, beautiful country to govern, so many Mexicans to deport, and lots of normalization deals in the Middle East to make sure that Israel can continue to exist. So thank you very, very much. And also, I'd just like to add, I'm very angry at Elon. I don't know what's gotten into him. Some say he's been doing too much ketamine. Others say that someone's been putting something in his drugs, or that his dream of Mars has gone to his head. But he's gone off the rockers. He did the most terrible thing. He said he's going to start his own political party, which of course will just take votes away from the Republican Party, the best party that there is. I don't say that, but other people say that. And I hope that Elon gets the help that he deserves. He won't be getting any help from me, of course. You know what they say? If you step to the Trump, you best not miss. And he's not welcome around here anymore. I know he helped get me elected. But you don't turn on your leader like that. That shows a great lack of loyalty, quite frankly. I always thought that he was a bit unstable. It looks like I have been proven right. So thank you very much for listening to this message, and have an excellent Habbening TV. It's one of the best shows. I don't say that, but other people say that. Thank you and good night. Welcome back, everyone. It's Monday night. You know what that means. It's time for another Habbening TV. Thank you very much to President Donald Trump for his excellent denial of anything to do with the Epstein files. Yes, it turns out it's a Nothingburger, bros. Look, the FBI's come out and said there's no list. Epstein killed himself. He wasn't trafficking girls to anyone. It's all just it's just a big conspiracy theory. Yes, they actually use that term, the conspiracy theory. So I guess that's it. Go home, everyone. It's all over. There is no mystery. Don't worry about the missing camera footage or the witness testimony or the dead witnesses or all the other sort of like connections to Mossad. Just don't worry about it. Don't trouble your little heads over it, right? Nothing good can come from it, right? Don't look back in anger, right? We need to like move on, right? Safe in the knowledge that the system continues to run as intended, bros. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. The FBI's come out and basically said, Epstein killed himself. It's fine. Okay. Look, far be it from me, obviously, to not trust the FBI. Far be it from me to suggest that the apparatus of the US government is incredibly skilled at taking in outside mavericks and bending and subverting them to their agenda. It's not like they've had literally the reason to do this every single 4 years, basically, until the beginning of time, or however long they've been doing this for, right? Like, when was Kennedy killed? 60 something, right? No, look, it's fine. I'm sure it's totally fine, bros. We'll be going over that. Second story tonight is Musk's new America Party. It seems that Musky Boy has finally had it with the fiscal profligacy of the American government. Trump passing the big, beautiful bill. It's the most beautiful bill. It's big, it's beautiful, it's a bill. Which raised the US debt ceiling by $5 trillion. Doesn't necessarily mean that they have to go that much into debt, right? But they do have that much headroom. Musk is just, he's furious, right? He wants a Bitcoin-driven economy, right? And he's are trying to do the mass deportations at the moment, and if they retool the entire monetary system, so Musk is now persona non grata amongst the Republicans. All the magatards are like, oh, can't believe that Musky Boy would betray us in such a fashion. I was like, really? He always seemed a little fucking unstable to me. I mean, but whatever. And our final story tonight, the UK and the French are working on a deal. Yes, another deal to stop the boats. Oh, wow, I can't wait what this deal is going to be. I'm sure it's going to solve the problem, right? Like all the other deals that they've done. With the French, giving them like £500 million to like stop the boats and stuff. Yes, Emmanuel Macron is in London, I think tomorrow, for like a big sort of NATO meeting or something like that. And so there has once again been a performative shuffle to try and look like they're doing something to stop the boats while not actually stopping the boats. Obviously, we're more moving to the west, and it looks like it's it's going to be that again. Like awesome. Anyway, I do hope you enjoy. Let's say hello to everybody in the chat. On Rumble, we have Teabagging Therapist Mick Zen. Oh, good to see you, Mick Zen. I haven't seen you in a while, mate. Sandy Sapiente, Captain Crisps, GDL Science and News. Oh, I think you're new. Thanks for coming along, mate. Good to see you. Oh, beep! We already got an inch beat. Oh, that's very, very nice. Wait, let me do the shout outs first. Total Blackout Painting, of course, great to see you, mate. Mikey Bikey, Teabagging Therapist, I think I already mentioned. Yes, the unit, great to see you as well. I'll be on Discord and Dragons tonight with a couple of other people. Nice to see you. On let's see, on YouTube we have Sunny Jim, Fat Zombie. Wait, mic is cutting out. My mic. Wait, hello. Is that better? Can you hear me now? Fuck. How about now? Is it working okay now? I don't know why. Yeah, right. Okay. No, I think I fixed it. It was being weird. Right. Is it working now? Is it working? Tell me. Yes, it's working now. Okay, right. On YouTube we have 007, Streaky Bacon, Fat Zombie, good to see you, Sunny Jim, Anglo-Saxon NWG, who else we got? Streaky Bacon, Simon JJ, I think that's every... Shadow Blackout Painting again. You get 2 shout-outs, mate. And Odyssey is... Odyssey... Wait, what the hell's going on here? My audio thing keeps dropping out. Oh my god. Wait a second. Just let me It's the stream. It's the Stream Deck doing it. let's see if it'll stay now. Bloody Stream Deck. Right, so my Stream Deck just decided to switch the audio on and off for me because that's what I paid it for. Clearly, Mossad has my Stream Deck. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to unplug this. Right. Okay, unplug the Stream Deck so it can't keep doing that, but now I won't have cool stickers. I've only had this thing for like a year and a half, and it's already like dying, bros. Fucking Mossad. Stream Deck is working for the IDF. Yeah, that'd be right. Does anyone know if Elgato is an Israeli company? Anyway, fuck. Right. Sorry about that, bros. Thank you very much, chat, for the feedback. Otherwise, I wouldn't have noticed, and I would have just been a blip, 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 blip. Today's meme. I can't do this anymore, George. You care more about your paranoid conspiracy theories than you do about me. Well, that's exactly what the government wants you to think. Ha! Ha! You can't deny that, right? Okay, so let's get on with it. Oh god, I hate it when we get technical difficulties. It really throws me off my game, bros. Right? You know, I got a system, right? Needs like a smoke alarm chirp or something. Right. So we will release the Epstein list. We just need more time. The Epstein list is on my desk. There is no Epstein list. Well, there you go, bros. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Just look, just shut up and accept it. I gotta say, people are reacting a little bit skeptically to this news. FBI concludes Jeffrey Epstein had no clients, didn't blackmail anyone, and definitely killed himself. Oh, wait. We had an entropy. Yes, that's right. I even got distracted. Mikey Bikey for $3. Nothing ever happens, wins again. Thank you, Mikey. I can't do the stickers because my Stream Deck is, but you know, anime dancing girl, right? Thank you very much. I am reading the entropy. God damn. Yeah, I have a feeling there are going to be some cool T-shirts actually about this. Deceased financier Jeffrey Epstein and his colleague Ghislaine Maxwell were both charged by the Justice Department with sex trafficking, and Maxwell was convicted, but according to the DOJ, the two apparently didn't have any clients. Yes, this is the way they are basically like wrapping it up. They are saying that Ghislaine basically trafficked girls to Epstein, about 1,000 of them, and that's it, right? There's nothing else to see. Hence, you know, that's why we didn't arrest anybody else, bros, right? Like, you know, look, it's all neat and tidy. It's all wrapped up in a bow. I don't want to hear any difficult questions, bros. Look. What you gotta like understand is these difficult questions, they're not gonna lead anywhere, bros, right? Like, you know, just let it go. Don't look back in anger, right? We have investigated ourselves and discovered we did nothing wrong. In a bombshell FBI memo leaked to Axios and published on Sunday night, officials said they reviewed more than 300 gigabytes of Epstein evidence, and they haven't found any vast human trafficking or sexual blackmail operation. Apparently, all of these videos are just of Epstein himself. Can we see them? Of course not. That's child pornography, so we will never be releasing them. So you'll just have to take our word for it. I mean, that's awfully convenient. Not that I really want to see, like, ew, right? Like Epstein, but I mean... Just shut up and believe us. This systematic review revealed no incriminating client list. There was also no credible evidence found that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals as part of his actions. We did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. So, there you go. The FBI also reiterated its previous claim that Epstein did in fact kill himself. In an attempt to demonstrate that Epstein's cell block was secure the night he purportedly killed himself, the FBI released footage from the one camera that was recording. However, the camera only showed a tiny sliver of a staircase leading to Epstein's cell, and there's also like a minute missing from the footage. But like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, right? Like, just like, God, you people are so paranoid. God, just like, always thinking there's like something suspicious on your bloody conspiracy theories. I don't know what's wrong with you. Can't you just for one Like, once. Just be like, the simplest explanation is quite obviously the true one. Come on, right? Yes, Sades, there is a minute missing. I'll be getting onto that. According to the OIG report released in 2023, only 2 cameras in Epstein's housing unit were recording, and those cameras had numerous blind spots. The camera in Epstein's cell block, which had at least 3 other inmates, wasn't recording, nor was the camera covering one of the elevator bays that led to Epstein's floor. The report also revealed that prison officials actually knew about the malfunctioning cameras the day before Epstein died. I mean, it is a jail in New York, right? So the idea that like a bunch of cameras would be malfunctioning is, not, beyond sort of like reason. On the other hand, it is, incredibly convenient, isn't it? Right? Inspector General Michael Horowitz said his staff interviewed an MCC technician who started to repair the cameras on August the 8th, 2019, but did not finish his work. Technician told the Inspector General he had no idea why he did not stay at the facility to resolve the problem that day. God. So, as you may be aware, Kash Patel is heading the FBI now, and Dan Bongino is heading... Wait, what's Bongino doing now? Is he Department of Justice? What did Bongino wind up doing? I think. Oh no, Bongino is the FBI deputy director now. Now this makes a bit of a change to what was going on recently, because up until recently they were basically saying that there was footage video exists that seems to show Jeffrey Epstein killed himself, and it will be released publicly.
Those 2 cases obviously are of significant public interest. I'm just telling you what we see in the file. I just want to be crystal clear on this. I am not asking anyone to believe me. I'm telling you what's there and what isn't. Right. There is nothing in the file at this point on the Epstein case, and there's going to be a disclosure on this coming shortly. We are working through there is video. That is something the public does not. There's video of him killing himself. No, not the actual act, but the entire MCC bay. There was only 1 camera. There's video that when you look at the video, and we will release, that's what's taken a while on this. We are working on cleaning it up to make sure you have an enhanced, and we're going to give the original so you don't think there were any shenanigans. You're going to see there's no one there but him. Right. There's just nobody there. So I say to people all the time, if you have a tip, let us know. But there's no DNA, there's no audio, there's no fingerprints, there's no suspects, there's no accomplices, there's no tips, there is nothing. If you have it, I'm happy to see it. There's video clear as day. He's the only person in there and the only person coming out. You can see it.
Now, of course, this sort of suggests that they have video of Epstein in his cell. Of course, they don't. They just have... Oh, right, the echo. Right, okay, I'll turn off the browser audio thing. Oh, God, right. Sorry about that. I don't know what the hell. Oh, I know. It's because I upgraded OBS, and it's being all retarded. Let's see what else we got. Epstein's death was ruled a suicide by hanging after he was found dead in his jail cell, but lawyers contested that claim. Skeptics point to malfunctioning surveillance cameras, sleeping guards, and broken bones in Epstein's neck as indicated that his death was something other than suicide. Because of his extensive fraternization with high-profile politicians and celebrities such as Bill Clinton, former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak, Prince Andrew, and Bill Gates, and many more, some claim that Epstein's death was actually a hit job to silence him. Proponents of that theory include Epstein's former partner, Ghislaine Maxwell, who's serving a 20-year prison sentence for sex trafficking. Maxwell said, "I believe he was murdered. I was shocked and I wondered how did this happen? Because I was sure he was going to appeal and I was sure he was covered by the non-prosecution agreement," Maxwell told British reporter Jeremy Kyle of Talk TV in 2023. So, I mean, it's fine, right? Like, don't, this is the FBI anonymous statement. As part of our commitment to transparency, the Department of Justice and the Federal Bureau of Investigation have conducted an exhaustive review of investigative holdings relating to Jeffrey Epstein. To ensure that the review was thorough, the FBI conducted digital searches of his databases, hard drives, and network drives, as well as physical searches of squad areas, locked cabinets, desks, closets, and other areas where responsive material may have been stored. This is like 2 or 3 years after the fact, right? Like anything incriminating that was there would be long gone by this point, right? I'm just, it's probably fine. It's probably just being paranoid, right? These searches uncovered a significant amount of material, including more than 300 gigabytes of data and physical evidence. The files relating to Epstein included a large volume of images of Epstein, images and videos of victims who are either minors or appear to be minors, and over 10,000 downloaded videos and images of illegal CSA and other porn. Right, so they found his porno stash. Teams of agents, analysts, attorneys, and privacy and civil liberties experts combed through the digital and documentary evidence with the aim of providing as much information as possible to the public while simultaneously protecting victims. Much of the material is subject to court-ordered sealing. Only a fraction of this material would have been aired publicly had Epstein gone to trial, as the seal served only to protect victims and did not expose any additional third parties to allegations of legal wrongdoing. Through this review, we found no basis to revisit the disclosure of those materials and will not permit the release of child pornography. The systematic review revealed no incriminating client list. There was also no credible evidence found that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals as part of his actions. We did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. Consistent with prior disclosures, the review confirmed that Epstein harmed over 1,000 victims. Each suffered unique trauma. Sensitive information relating to these victims is intertwined throughout the materials. This includes specific details such as victim names and likenesses, personal, physical descriptions, places of birth, associates, and employment history. So the only list they found basically is the list of his victims, pretty much. One of our highest priorities is combating child exploitation and bringing justice to victims. Perpetuating unfounded theories about Epstein serves neither of these ends. To that end, while we have labored to provide the public with maximum information regarding Epstein and ensured examination of any evidence in the government's possession, it is the determination of the Department of Justice and the Federal Bureau of Investigation that no further disclosure would be appropriate or warranted. So there you go. After a thorough investigation, FBI concluded that Epstein committed suicide in his cell at the MCC in New York on August 10, 2019. This conclusion is consistent with previous findings, including the August 19 autopsy and the position of the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York in connection with the investigation of federal correctional officers responsible for guarding Epstein, and the June 2023 conclusions of the DOJ's Office of the Inspector General. So there you go, right? Like, you know, it's fine. Now this puts a whole bunch of people sort of in a very, very tricky position, because this idea, right, that there was sort of systemic blackmail and corruption, right, relating to Epstein was such a big thing during Trump's campaign. Trump himself even said that he would release the list once he got into office.
But a lot of big people went to that island. But fortunately, I was not one of them.
It's just very strange for a lot of people that the list of clients that went to the island has not been made public.
Yeah, it's very interesting, isn't it? Probably will be, by the way. Probably.
So if you're able to, you'll be...
Yeah, I'd certainly take a look at it. Now, Kennedy's interesting because it's so many years ago. You know, they do that for danger, too, because, you know, endangers certain people, et cetera, et cetera. So Kennedy is very different from the Epstein thing. But yeah, I'd be inclined to do the Epstein. I'd have no problem with it.
I totally like release the list, you know. Now, this is the other thing as well, is that Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, basically said that she had the list on her desk. Remember they had like the little binder, and they came out and they did like that little press release at the White House, and there was like nothing in it. I mean, it's quite funny, right? Like, you know, imagine you get into the White House and you're like, I want to see the Epstein list, and they're like, yeah, but there like literally isn't one. We haven't like found one, and they're like, yeah, but there's got to be one. We promised everyone that we would like promised everyone we would, you know, expose the deep state And they're like, yeah, but it doesn't exist. Check this shit out.
DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So have you seen anything that you said, oh my gosh?
Not yet.
It's fine. We haven't seen. They're gonna use this, I reckon, to like pummel down all the conspiracy theorists. They'll be like, yeah, you said the government was corrupt. Source. What is your source? Carolyn Levitt was asked about this, the White House spokesman. Enjoy.
The DOJ and FBI have now concluded there was no Jeffrey Epstein client list. What do you tell MAGA supporters who say they want anyone involved in Jeffrey Epstein's alleged crimes to be held accountable?
This administration wants anyone who has ever committed a crime to be held accountable, and I would argue this administration has done more to lock up bad guys than certainly the previous administration. And the Trump administration is committed to truth and to transparency. That's why the Attorney General and the FBI Director pledged at the President's direction to do an exhaustive review of all of the files related to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes and his death. And they put out a memo in conclusion of that review. There was material they did not release because, frankly, it was incredibly graphic and it contained child pornography, which is not something that's appropriate for public consumption. But they committed to an exhaustive investigation. That's what they did, and they provided the results of that. That's transparency.
Follow up on that,
Sure.
Caroline. Okay, so the FBI looks at the circumstances surrounding the death of Jeffrey Epstein. According to the report, this systematic review revealed no incriminating client list. So what happened to the Epstein client list that the Attorney General said she had on her desk?
Well, I think if you go back and look at what the Attorney General said in that interview, which was on your network on Fox
I've
News.
got the quote.
Go ahead.
John Roberts said, DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen? And she said, it's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Yes, she was saying the entirety of all of the paperwork, all of the paper in relation to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. That's what the Attorney General was referring to, and I'll let her speak for that. But again, when it comes to the FBI and the Department of Justice, they are more than committed to ensuring that bad people are put behind bars. They have an operation going on right now called Summer Heat, which has our murder rate trending in the lowest direction in United States history. Their emphasis on violent crime and locking up violent criminals has led to the arrest of 14,000 violent criminals. That's a 62% increase from the same time period last year. So this Attorney General and the FBI Director are committed to putting bad people behind bars where they belong. That they promised an exhaustive review. That's what they did. For any further details, I would refer you to the Department of Justice.
So there you go. It's a big nothing burger. There won't be anything. Do not sort of, look at stuff like this, for example.
I've had the story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is a stupid story. Then the palace found out that we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us a million different ways. We were so afraid we wouldn't be able to interview Kate and Will that also quashed the story. And then Alan Dershowitz was also implicated in it because of the planes. She told me everything. She had pictures. She had everything. She was in hiding for 12 years. We convinced her to come out. We convinced her to talk to us. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton. We had everything. I tried for 3 years to get it on, to no avail, and now it's all coming out, and it's like these new revelations, and I freaking had all of it. I'm so pissed right now. Like, every day I get more and more pissed because I'm just like, oh my God, what we had was unreal. Other women backing it up. Hey, yep. Brad Edwards, the attorney, 3 years ago, saying there will come a day when we will realize Jeffrey Epstein was the most prolific pedophile this country has ever known. I had it all 3 years ago.
Oh yeah, Virginia Giuffre. What happened to her? Oh yeah, she's dead. I'm sure there's nothing suspicious about that. Here's Kash Patel. This look. I reckon this is the evidence. This is the essence of governance, right? In sort of in the modern world, right? You're on the outside. You're like, I'm gonna get in there. I'm gonna clean up all that corruption, right? You get in there. The dudes in the grey suits come in. They're just like, you're gonna say, like, you're gonna disavow your previous position, you know, or really, really bad shit's gonna happen to you. We know everything about you, right? Like, oh my God.
Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list. You don't think that Bill Gates is lobbying Congress night and day to prevent the disclosure of that list? And why is it that the Senate, you know, and good for Senator Blackburn to try to get it out, but then Dick Durbin comes over the top and says, no, we're not going to release the names. I don't care about the list itself, but if release the names, right?
And I've said it, Dan Bongino said it, we've reviewed all the information and the American public is going to get as much as we can release. He killed himself. Do you think, let's play out the logical conclusion of this. Do you think that myself, Bongino, and others would participate in hiding information about Epstein's grotesque activities? Or do you think we would also participate in not prosecuting people we had evidence to prosecute people on? Where's the videotape of an Epstein Island of X, Y, and Z committing these frauds? Why haven't you given it to us? Do you really think I wouldn't give that to you if it existed?
Yeah, but they've had like 3 years, more than 3 years to clean all of this shit up, man. Like, it's fine. It's fine. I'm sure it's fine. Look, they even released the camera footage, bros, of outside Epstein's cell. I mean, sort of, right? Check it out. It's riveting, bros. It's like absolutely real. Wow, look at that, man. So much going on. There's a whole, 11 hours of this apparently going on, right? Like, like there's nothing there, right? Like nothing ever happens, bros. Except for this bit where it turns off for a minute. I mean, to be fair, this is about midnight, right? So if it's like one of those like auto recording cameras, conceivably it could like go down for a minute to do like maintenance or something like that. Look, I don't know, right? I'm just saying it's sussy, right? Look, I'm sure it's fine. In case you didn't miss that, right? Basically, it goes to like 11:59, and then immediately shifts to 12 a.m. It's magic, bros. It's magic. I mean, I don't know. You probably would have needed more than a minute to pull that off, but I'm just saying, right? Also, in other news, Trump is now satisfied with the FBI probe into the Butler, Pennsylvania assassination attempt. Trump has expressed strong approval of the FBI's investigation into the assassination attempt against him in Butler, Pennsylvania. Really? Like, did they get like to the bottom of like who cremated the body like days after, so they couldn't do a proper autopsy? No. Look, Trump is very satisfied with the official narrative surrounding the case. Oh, mate, QAnon plan trust is totally BTFO'd, bros, right? I trusted the Q plan. Where we go one, we go all will be revealed. No, it won't. No, it won't. This marks the first time the president has publicly shown full confidence in the investigation. Previously, Trump had expressed some doubts about the details of the incident. In an earlier Fox News interview, he acknowledged trusting his team, but noted that certain elements of the case seemed a little strange. Yeah, you think? Really? At the time, Trump said, I'm relying on my people to tell me what it is, the Secret Service. They tell me it's fine, but it's a little hard to believe. Bongino, of course, was like really, really big on this because he used to be in the Secret Service. He was like, there's no way this is like kosher. It turns out it was totally kosher. Everything is exactly as it appears, bros. Amazing. Amazing. QAnon tards BTFO'd. So there you go. Right. So yeah, that's the that's the headline story. Everything is exactly as it appears. Right. Do not look for any deeper connections. You're only going to trip and hurt yourself in your brain meats. Right. So our second story tonight. Musk's American Party. Oh, right. Before I do, though, I got to do some shilling. Please to send Earth monies via Entropy to help me with, therapy beer and stuff. Very, very important therapy beer.
We need Earth monies to appear as normal Earth pigs. Mini Moose, how much have we earned?
Thank you for your support, sir. Please to send Google gift cards. I will make sure to redeem them. So yeah, this is the kind of memeage going around. Some of these pretty fucking good. Musk has basically said he is going to create a new political party. On July 4th, he basically did this poll. It did get 1.2 million votes. Should we create the America Party? By we, I presume he means himself. And his Indian followers. By a factor of 2 to 1, you want a new political party, and you shall have it. When it comes to bankrupting our country with waste and graft, we live in a one-party system, not a democracy. I mean, democracies can be one-party systems. Did he never read Rousseau? Of course he's never read Rousseau. He's an engineer, right? And this look, this is the thing about political science, okay, right? All the hard, science chats, the math freaks and the engineers, they all look down on the political science virgins, right? They're like, political science, it's not a hard science like math or engineering. Yeah, but right, without political science, you wouldn't have any grants, right? Politics underlies everything, right? It's a bit like economics, right? You can't get by without it, bro. So today the America Party is formed to give you back your freedom. I mean, okay, right? I just, where should we hold the inaugural American Party Congress? Now, Black Dumpling, how about Beijing? I mean, that's where most of the people who voted in your poll live. Oh, God. And he's just getting, memed on. Everyone's and a lot of people are asking Grok, right? Which means that, this could sort of functionally be the first sort of American political party to basically run by AI, get a lot of its input and policies from AI, which is going to be interesting. I did actually reply to Grok, but I couldn't find it. Grok was like, no, something, right? Facts, let's move forward with facts. And I basically said to it, listen, you really shouldn't be in politics, Grok, because in politics, every fact is part of a narrative. That is how politics works. In politics, there are no just facts floating about by themselves. Every fact is part of a narrative, which is either part of a ruling formula or a way to get people to vote for you. That's why politics is the way that it is, right? There are no neutral facts in politics. But again, that's the kind of stuff that, an engineer would say, yeah, it's a neutral fact. No, it isn't. In politics, there are no neutral facts. Of course, someone immediately made a crypto token because why not? And all of the Elon simps are out being like, no donors, no puppets, no strings. I'm pretty sure Musk will donate to it. I'm just saying, right? No strings, just a party built on common sense. What does it mean? Right? Oh, common sense, right? Oh yeah. Please explain. Would you like to elucidate a little bit more on what common sense is? They don't know. The America Party. Send crypto. Now, the knives came out immediately. Even CNN was not a fan of this. I imagine neither of the two main parties would be a fan because there's the potential to take votes away from them in 26 and in 28. So this is CNN basically saying like, ha ha ha, no one will vote for this silly party.
Yeah, this entire thing makes very little sense to me. It makes about as much sense as selling sand in the desert. What are we talking about here? What is the size of Elon Musk's base? Well, I calculate it to be about 4%, just 4%, 1, 2, 3, 4% of all voters. What is that base made up of? Well, it's those who view Elon Musk favorably and the GOP unfavorably. We're talking just about 4% of all voters out there, because it turns out most of the people who like Elon Musk already like the GOP already. That is, they already have a party for him. In my mind, there is just no base for Elon Musk's third party in the electorate, at least initially speaking.
Now, look, this is another reason why it's clear that Musk has no political nous whatsoever. The time to launch something like this, right, is when Trump's policies fail, right? So you'd need to wait a couple of years, right? Trump's in the middle of the deportation thing, right? He successfully saw off war between Iran and Israel, saw off war between India and Pakistan, right? So if the deportations fail, that would be the time to come in with a new party. Doing this now is just, well, it's retarded. But again, engineers are famously not very good at politics. Trump, of course, responded, I am saddened to watch Elon Musk go completely off the rails, essentially becoming a train wreck over the past 5 weeks. He even wants to start a third political party, despite the fact that they have never succeeded in the United States. The system seems not to be designed for them. It's a great system, though. The one thing third parties are good for is the creation of complete and total disruption and chaos. And we've had enough of that with the radical left Democrats who have lost their confidence and their minds. Republicans, on the other hand, are a smooth-running machine that just passed the biggest bill of its kind in the history of our country. It's a great bill. I don't say that. Other people say that. But unfortunately for Elon, it eliminates the ridiculous electric vehicle mandate, which would have forced everyone to buy an electric car in a short period of time. I have been strongly opposed to that from the very beginning. People are now allowed to buy whatever they want, gasoline-powered hybrids, which are doing very well, by the way, or new technologies as they come about. No more EV mandate. I have campaigned on this for 2 years, and quite honestly, when Elon gave me his total and unquestioned endorsement, I asked him whether or not he knew I was going to terminate the EV mandate. It was in every speech I made and every conversation I had, and he said he had no problems with that, and I was very surprised, very surprised. Additionally, Elon asked that one of his close friends run NASA, and while I thought his friend was very good, I was surprised to learn he was a blue-blooded Democrat who had never contributed to a Republican before. Elon probably was also. I also thought it was inappropriate that a very close friend of Elon, who was in the space business, ran NASA when NASA is such a big part of Elon's corporate life. My number one charge is to protect the American public. It's the best public. So Trump has turned on Elon. He's no longer invited to the White House Christmas party. Also, I have heard Musk responded to this by being like, "What's True Social? Never heard of it." It's so weird seeing like political figures beefing like 9-year-old girls over Twitter. It's so weird. Some of the memeage was pretty good though.
This is what victory feels like. Yeah. This is important, some are not, but this one, this one really mattered. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
Dude. I mean, mate, this is again, Elon he's just demonstrating his lack of political nous, right? You don't back someone like Trump and then turn on like Trump. Look, I don't know, right? Like it's weird that I have more knowledge of politics than Musk, but then again, I guess he spent his entire life building electric cars and shooting rockets into space, right? Now, this was going around. This is from the FEC, but Elon is saying that this is in fact fake. Allegedly, this is the filing for setting up the America Party. And it's the custodian of records is Vahib Taneja. So it's basically, full of jeets, which is, what everyone was like basically like ragging him about because of the H-1B controversy, where he was like, we need more jeets in the US, and those racist Americans are like, actually, I think we've had enough jeets. It's a bit like when you've eaten 12 tacos and you're like, oh. Elon comes around and he's like, "Sir, what about more jeets?" You're like, "Oh, I've had about as many jeets as I can eat, mate. Right? Just one more jeet. Just one more jeet. You will barely notice, sir." So Elon says this filing is false and has been reported as such to the Federal Election Commission. I don't know, man. This is still a live story. It's still going on. And of course, he's going hard over the Epstein thing, right? What's the time? Oh, look, it's no one has been arrested o'clock again. Well, that's not technically true. Epstein and Ghislaine were both arrested. But I mean, and of course, as in typical style now, everyone's crawling back over Elon's previous tweets to show him up, talking about, how he wants like a carbon tax and stuff. I don't know why the fuck he would think like, a carbon tax is a good idea, but like maybe, it's, a way of driving the sales of more electric cars. I've got no fucking idea. Anyway, our final story of the night. Are we there yet? I've got a food delivery order to pick up. Yes, the immigration problem in the UK just gets worse and worse and worse. Crime is up, attacks are up, everyone feels unsafe, the cities are unrecognizable, no one fucking speaks English anymore, and all of the sort of like whites still living in places that are relatively touched by immigration are going around calling everyone whose quality of life has been negatively affected a bunch of racists, right? And, and they haven't actually started telling them to, oh, why don't you just learn Urdu or something yet. I imagine that'll be like the next thing. They'll be like, okay, we said it wasn't happening, so now it is happening. Have you considered just learning 6 different languages so you can get by in the neighborhood that 10 years ago, right? You could get by in English with English. It's fine. So, as I said, Emmanuel Macron is due in London, I believe, tomorrow for a meeting with Starmer and the other NATO heads about what are they going to do about Project Ukraine, because they can't just like let it go, even though they totally fucking should. And so the French police were given the advice of a French genius, I believe his name is Gaston Le Baguette, who came up with this incredible idea. Now, this is French genius, right? Like, just made man. You won't believe the incredibly complicated and technically specific method the French have come up with to stop the small boats. This is truly incredible. I believe, I've been reliably informed, that it combines stealth technology, AI, and just sheer French genius. Check this shit out.
Okay, they're slicing it. They're coming in to slice the boat now. The police have come in to slice the boat. Look at that guy's furious. Okay. Okay, to your right, the policeman here. He's pulling them in to your right. So the police now intervening. They've just come in. They've slashed the boat. They feel it's close enough to the shore so that it's not too dangerous for those on board. And you can see everyone's giving up now.
Truly amazing. Such advanced technology. Now, you might be wondering, observant viewer, why was there a BBC crew, TV crew, just, happening to be there? Well, as it turns out, the BBC crew were just, they were just hanging around getting like a croissant, right? And, a bit of like hot chocolate, early in the morning. And they just happened to stumble across the French police doing this. Amazing luck there from the BBC. Oh, look, obviously, right? This is just a publicity stunt, right? Obviously, the French aren't going to do shit. It's just this one boat they decided to destroy because it looks good for the cameras, and then they can come to London. Macron can come to London and be like, of course, we take your concern about the boat migrants very seriously. It is not that we don't want them here and we don't give a fuck what happens to England. No, we are very, very concerned about this problem, even though you are not part of the European Union, which of course we love, and we love to suck on its titties. God fucking damn it. So what's this new deal? They got like a new deal. Oh, we got entropy? I did not see the, no, apparently not. Entropy's down. Of course entropy is down. Because nothing's going right this evening. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, come on. Sign in. Sorry about that, guys. Entropy just does this thing where it just logs you out in the middle of the show. Quite a lot. Because, why the fuck not? Oh, God, now I gotta start the stream again. Bloody hell. Hang on. Just a second, guys. Right, we got another one from Mikey Bikey. Towards the beers of therapy. Thank you very, very much, Mikey Bikey. I really, really appreciate that. Yes, entropy is now working again, supposedly. Please share and subscribe and all of that kind of stuff. Do it for Gaston Le Baguette. So Starmer came out with this incredible plan, which was 1 in, 1 out channel migrant deal. So for every migrant they send out, they got to take one back from France. How is this supposed to actually reduce the number of migrants? Shut the fuck up, you racists, right? Look, we need more migrants, right? Who's gonna do all the Deliveroo driving, right? Who's going to rape all the kiddies, right? Think of all of those English children being unraped, right? Terrible, right? We really need to import more rapists, and who's going to do all the knife attacks? And from MK, another entropy. US $5. I'm late, but I appreciate the show. Catch the replay. Thank you, MK. I really appreciate that, mate. I hope you're doing well. Odyssey chat was a bit balked, so I couldn't give the shout outs, but shout out to you and Machine for Baked Beans and Evola19 and all the other Odyssey bros. Thanks for coming, guys. So this is just retarded, right? So the reason why even this piss week deal is under threat is that Italy, Spain, Greece, Malta, and Cyprus have expressed serious concerns over the implications for southern EU states, according to government sources who said the complex talks were in the balance. Because look, this is the thing, migration is a zero-sum game. Every single place you chuck them out of, they're going to wind up somewhere else, right? So they want them all to come to the UK because then they don't have to deal with them. The Prime Minister had planned to use a summit with Emmanuel Macron this week to sign a new deal with France, which France would then clearly just ignore, which would have allowed the government to return some migrants who crossed the channel illegally. Some, right? How many? Look, just don't worry about it, right? The UK would then accept a similar number of asylum seekers from France, thus defeating the entire fucking purpose, right? The so-called 1 in, 1 out agreement is an attempt to break the business model of the people smuggling gangs by showing that migrants will be returned to France once they reach UK shores, except for the ones that have applied in France, right? GDL Science and News, France sends 2 out and gets 2 back. Yeah, exactly, right? However, Downing Street is yet to agree to the returns deal just days before the initiative is due to be announced as a centerpiece of the state visit by Monsieur Macron from Tuesday to Thursday. Yes, I was right. Yeah, it starts tomorrow. A record 20,600 migrants have crossed the channel so far in 2025 alone. It's fine. Who are these people? Well, we don't know, right? But look, I'm sure they're good people, right? It's mainly women and children. Oh no, wait, it's mainly fighting age men from fuck knows where, right? Like, are they soldiers? We don't know. Are they rapists? We don't know. Are they radical Muslims? We don't know. What are you, racist? Asking these questions? Fucking goddamn it, I can't believe you would ask such questions, as in, where from war-torn Africa or the Middle East are these people coming from? Do any of them have military training? What is wrong with... Have you no compassion? Oh, my God. So, yes, the 5 southern states wrote to the European Commission expressing concern that the one-in, one-out deal could mean that they would face an influx of deported migrants. Under the EU's Dublin Agreement, migrants can be sent back to the EU country where they first landed. So this is the problem, right? England would be kicking them out, and they'd be going back to Malta or Greece or the countries in the southern Mediterranean where they stepped off the boat from fucking Libya or wherever, and those places don't want them, right? You know, obviously, right? Like, you know, Malta in particular, right, has got absolutely fucking overrun. So look, I'm gonna be real, right? You're gonna have to take all these people. You're gonna have to just stick them on an island somewhere, right? And you're gonna just have to leave them there until they basically tell you where they're from, and you can arrange to send them back there, right? It's the only way this is gonna work, right? You're gonna have to have an island in the middle of the ocean and just stick them on it, and just be like, you're gonna stay here until you tell us like where you're really from. We'll contact the government and like try and get you back, right? I mean, unless you want to consider more harsh measures, right? I mean, I'm open to it. But what about international law? What about international law? Isn't there an international law, right, that you've got to like protect your own population? Apparently, there is no international law saying that you have to protect your own population. It's all about protecting populations from other countries. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yes, another humiliation from the Prime Minister. My God. You know, Starmer's looking so humiliated. It's like the entire country is basically like a fucking like low-priced dominatrix at this point. He's just, this is fucking such a fucking shit show. So the French have been testing tactics, including cutting the rubber of a migrant dinghy in shallow water. They've been testing these well, I mean, look, they do have to test these tactics, right? These are very, very high technology solutions. There's no guarantee that it would work. Oh, for fuck's sake. It's fine. It's fine. So Macron's going to be in London tomorrow. Great. Awesome. Can't wait. And don't worry about this either. The UK government is prepping for civil war using the Russian invasion threat as a cover, which is true. The UK government's come out and said, we got to protect all this critical infrastructure because the Russians might invade. And everyone's like, nigga, what? Oh, yeah. The Russians might invade. Not, it's nothing to do with the large restive migrant population. We wouldn't want to say that, right? It might be construed as a bit racist, right? I'm really curious to know, right? Like, at what point is the UK establishment going to give up this whole, like, don't want to be called a racist sort of thing? Will they literally have to wait until there are, like, Muslims, like, rushing en masse at Parliament and, like, throwing hand grenades and stuff, and then they'll be like, oh, I say, there's a rather brown crowd out there. Shush, Sir Michael. You wouldn't want to be seen as racist. Oh, God fucking damn it. And what else have we got? Oh, yes. And speaking of our ability to fight Russia, we don't have any.
Spending. And Britain, as the Secretary of State said, we've got roughly 1,000 troops in Estonia. What kind of numbers can Britain deploy in 2025 as part of their imaginary NATO coalition? What can we actually deploy? And we've mentioned 1,000 troops so far. We've got that. What else can we deploy?
So would you like to have a conversation about the coalition of the willing work?
No, just the question I'm asking you.
Okay, so I think as the Secretary of State has said, I don't think it's appropriate that I talk about the detail of numbers. But as part of the wider NATO plans, what has been asked of us in the NATO force model we're delivering against the commitments that we need to at the appropriate scales over the next couple of years. We'd be the first to say we, of course, would be ready to fight, but we'd also say and acknowledge that there are risks in our ability to do that. And
spending.
That's bureaucrat speak for we haven't got any troops. And we have so few troops that if we were to tell you how few troops we have, it would be a security risk because it would invite attack. Because if they had like a shitload of troops, they'd be able to just say, oh yeah, we've got a shitload of troops. Come at us, Pootler. I can't think why people aren't signing up for the UK military. They'll hire anyone as long as you're not like white and Christian, right? You know, like they'll hire the trans, they'll hire the Muslims, right? You know, they will hire some white people to like clean the toilets, right? And to, you know, do human wave attacks. This fucking country is so cooked. Anyway, enough of that. Now, I have decided tonight, instead of cringe, because I can't take it anymore, bros. I thought my susceptibility to cringe, my resistance to cringe was bottomless, but it turns out it isn't. So instead, we're gonna have a based section because I can't hack it. I got clown world-itis, bros. Anti-whiteism ends with you. What's with the crowns in the chat? I have no idea. It's some weird thing that YouTube did. I had nothing to do with it. Look, it means you was Kangs, right? It's what it means, right? So Robert Verlinden be the #1 Kang. Sonny Jim is the #3 Kang. You guys will have to like work it out between yourself. Oh, we got some. We got another entry from Sheev Palpaker. Hey Sheev, I know you from AA's chat. Thank you so much for dropping by. $3. Hello, it's me, Sheev Palpacringe. My message is this: just remember, it's not bad to have in-group preference. That's very, very good. Let me see if I can get a sticker since it's your first donation. Here we go. Where's the tally dollar one? Yes, my stream deck has decided to like break. So, Mixen, have you ever considered a phone-in segment? I haven't actually. I could probably do that on Rumble Studio. If people would like a phone-in segment, I could probably do that. Thank you very much, Sheev, and thanks for coming along. Hope to see you in the chat. Right. So yes, as I said, instead we will be having a based segment. Inside you, there are two wolves. One is based, the other is red pilled. You are based in red pill. Yeah, I know it's a bit of an old meme. Based in red pill. It is a bit cringe now, but it was a last minute decision, and so I had to find based memes. So when I searched my meme folder for based, there was only a couple of them, and this is one of them. So you're just gonna have to deal with it. Right. So we got a few segments from Trump. These are pretty good.
And as you know, recently we've seen some of our political system attempting to overthrow the timeless American principles and other pillars of our liberty and replace them with some of the most noxious ideas in human history, ideas that have been proven false. Members of Congress and even former presidents have been openly embracing vile creeds such as socialism, Marxism, and straight-up communism. In New York, they're trying to elect a communist, Zoran Mamdani, the guy who wants to defund the police, take over the stores and run the stores and have the people hand out goods. And when everything falls apart, it always does. It always works that way. It never has worked any other way. Anarchy and dictatorships prevail. This guy is a communist at the highest level, and he wants to destroy New York. I love New York, and we're not going to let him do that. Generations of Americans before us did not shed their blood only so that we could surrender our country to Marxist lunatics on the eve of our 250th year. As President of the United States, I'm proclaiming here and now that America is never going to be communist in any way, shape, form, and that includes New York City.
I mean, that's pretty base. As Years points out, most modern Western countries have a sort of like state socialism, effectively. But still, you know, I like his energy. I like his energy. This is really, really funny as well. Trump dropped the S word. Shylock. Just, goodness me, right? Hope he hasn't ever read The Merchant of Venice. Goodness me, right?
But if you love them or if you love somebody that you're leaving it to, think of that. No death tax, no estate tax, no going to the banks and borrowing from, in some cases, a fine banker, and in some cases, Shylocks and bad people. But if you love them or if you love somebody.
In some cases, Shylocks are bad people. Now, apparently, Shylock is just New York slang for, like, you know, a hardcore user, which would make sense given the amount of Yiddish in New York City, because it's a Yiddish word, right? So that, you know, that's why words like schmuck, for example, are like, you know, big in New York, because the large Jewish population brought a bunch of like Yiddish over, and there's a bunch of like Yiddish words that are frankly like really, really cool. And they just, that's why it's sort of like New York is the way that New York is. When questioned about it, Trump did the whole like, really, you're just telling me that? This is the first time I'm hearing it kind of thing.
Mr. President, I wanted to ask you about one of the words you used during your speech, Shylocks. That's widely viewed as an anti-Semitic phrase. Do you intend for that word to be used that
No,
way?
I've never heard it that way. To me, a Shylock is somebody that's a money lender at high rates. I've never heard it that way. You view it differently than me. I've never heard that. Go ahead. Anything else?
Actually, I'm not like. Actually, I'll retract my previous statement. I don't think Shylock is Yiddish. Shylock was the name of the merchant in The Merchant of Venice, who famously demanded a pound of flesh from the main character. It's been a long time since I've like read that, right? So Trump is basically correct. That's how the word sort of came into usage. But like, you know, oy vey, it's a little bit there. It is a little bit anti-Semitic, right? Now let's see what else have we got here. Now this is another one of those like politics makes strange bedfellows kind of like thing. This is Matt Goodwin, who is on the right but very, very, very kosher. Talking to Aaron Bastani, who is basically like a commie, although apparently now that he's getting older and he's had kids, he's becoming more based. And you know, I usually would completely disavow anything being said by the people from Navarra Media, but I'm kind of on board with this, honestly. Check this out.
Is that a fair point?
Well,
God, what the fuck is up with the audio? Right, sorry, I'll restart the clip.
I want a national unifying politics which puts Britain first, not Pakistan, not Gaza, not any other foreign policy thing. Britain first.
Not Israel?
Well,
not Israel. The media's just been talking about Israel and the IDF for the last 4 or 5 days. That's what they talk about. You wouldn't think that high streets in this country are on the, are on the way down, or public services aren't doing well, or people are struggling with their bills. I hear so much about Israel.
Is that a fair point?
Well, my personal view is Israel is a very close ally. Well, until recently, it was a very close ally of the United Kingdom. We should look after our allies. Unfortunately,
no, we shouldn't.
Unfortunately,
we should look after Britain.
Unfortunately, Israel no longer feels that we are a reliable ally, thanks to the Labour government. I care. And
Why?
lots of Britain's Jews, a lot of British Jews in the country care about that.
The point of politicians in the UK should be to look out for the UK. That's it. That's something, by the way, that the right always used to say. And I used to look at them as somebody on the left going, you know what, I think they've got a point. And large parts of the right, Matthew, have just gone away from that because they just keep on talking about Israel and Tel Aviv and the IDF. They're making the IDF a protected characteristic. Need to go to the human rights, watchdog and maybe protect for, IDF lance corporals because they're being discriminated against by the UK, media. It's silly. You had it right. You had it right 5-10 years ago. Look after this country.
It's not silly to say Israel has a right to self-determination and to protect its own people.
Every country does.
That Britain's, particularly British Jews, also feel profoundly unsafe about the direction of travel in this country.
So hold on. You started this by saying British politicians shouldn't be talking about other countries. I say ignore Israel, and they say, no, actually, no, they should be talking about Israel. You need to make your mind up.
I'm not saying they should be talking about Israel. I'm saying I have less of an issue with them talking about countries that are our allies than people who are actively trying to organise politics along sectarian lines, which is what this independent group is going to do. Let's be frank, it's going to be pro-Gaza, anti-Israel, anti-British state, anti-military, pro-Palestine action. It's going to be all the things that this country should not really have.
Do you know, in the last parliament, do you know what percentage of Tory MPs were members of Conservative Friends of Israel?
How many?
70%. Be friends of your own constituencies.
Ooh. That's, I mean, somebody had to say it. So, this, of course, is you know, because of the news that Zara Sultana is planning on leaving the Labour Party and forming a new far-left party with Jeremy Corbyn, which doesn't seem to have materialised. If anything moves on this, I will do a story on it. But at the moment, it looks like it's basically suspended in limbo. Also, Rumble has crashed. The chat thing on Rumble has crashed because, you know, why not, right? Like, oh, for God's sake. Let me see if I can get it to, like, work. Yes! Oh, man, OBS is so tetchy. Now, this is so fucking funny. This is Steve Coogan, who was like a BBC comedian, explaining fascism without understanding that he was explaining fascism. Like, this is just hilarious.
Tenants who, when you act as individuals, you have no power. So if you have someone who's if you've got cockroaches and damp in your house and it is awful conditions, as an individual, you might as well shout into the void, you get no response. But if you belong to an organisation where you have a group of people, then by power of numbers, you have leverage. Basically, you can break one stick, but you get a bundle of sticks tied together, you can't break them. So it's about people coming together to become a significant voice by being part of a group. Tenants who, when you...
Now, of course, you know, for those of you who aren't aware, the literal fascist came from the concept of a fascia, which was a bundle of sticks tied together. literally exactly the same idea. Oh my God. I wonder if someone fucking took him out the back of the chemical sheds and gave him a little talking to. I was like, no, look, you're not allowed to say that, right? Yeah, use the eunuch. Let us together become a mighty faggot. Right. Some of you may be aware of Lee Kuan Yew, who was the Prime Minister of Singapore during Singapore's like incredible rise to power. A lot of people have been doing sort of like weird, you know, sort of like funk edits of Lee Kuan Yew. Honestly, I wish we had a Lee Kuan Yew in the UK, right? Like, just, you know, competent governance. But I thought this was pretty cool. Check it out.
Whoever governs Singapore must have that iron in him, or give it up. This is not a game of cards. This is your life and mine.
This was a mudflat swamp. Today, this is a modern city. 10 years from now, this will be a metropolis.
Whoever governs Singapore.
Oh man, I do like these little funk edits. It just really warms my soul. Here's Tucker Carlson talking about how he believes that nukes are sent by demons. Now, that sounds a bit weird, but honestly, I can't disagree with him on this. So I thought I'd play it for you all.
Yeah, no, I was on February 20th, 2023. I was attacked in my bed by a spiritual being and clawed and left bleeding and scarred. And do I understand what happened? No, of course I don't. I don't really understand anything, but that did happen to me. I don't care if people believe me or not. It did. And I think it was just a a momentary glimpse of something that's happening at all times, which is, again, this war between forces that we can't see, not since we dropped the atomic bomb in Nagasaki, the second one in August of 1945, and decided that we were gods, and the God himself no longer existed. Since then, we have been a secular society, and that's why we're now being destroyed, in my view. I care about this country and what happened to it after 1945. And it's a very clear demarcation line, and it seems obvious to me that nuclear weapons are demonic. There's no upside to them at all, and that anyone who claims otherwise is either ignorant or doing the bidding of the forces that created nuclear technology in the first place, which are not human forces, obviously. And let me just ask you this, which I've asked a million people at dinner parties, but never in public. What was the moment we can point to that nuclear technology was invented? You know, we can point to Isaac Newton and say, what apple fell on his head? Or we can point to Albert Hoffman in his lab messing around with the, ergot bacteria. That's when LSD was made. I've never met a person who can isolate the moment where nuclear technology became known to man. And so where did it come from exactly? Oh, German scientists in the 30s. Really, when? Name the date. And I've never heard anybody do that. It's very clear to me that these are demonic. I mean, these are evil. Their only purpose is to destroy the innocent, to murder the innocent. They've only been used once. And I think there's an interesting ethical debate about their use. Was Truman right or whatever? But if you take 3 steps back, you could say, well, wait a second. If you end up killing, incinerating tens of thousands of civilians, that's just a bad thing. Let's just be honest. That's just a bad thing. And anyone who does that is going to pay consequences. It's just true. And by the way, the fact the second bomb was dropped on the Christian population of Japan, which was majority in Nagasaki. In fact, it was sighted in on a church in Nagasaki. Was that an accident? Why Nagasaki exactly? And by the way, why has every subsequent American war resulted in disproportionately the deaths of Christians? That would include Vietnam, by the way, where the Catholic population was decimated, up to and including Iraq and Syria, now in Russia. Why is it that our use of force consistently since the end of the Second World War has been against Christians? That's been the effect, to kill Christians. The bombing of the Balkans in the 90s under NATO. Why is that? And I just don't think it's an accident. Clearly, it's not an accident.
Interesting. I never really thought about it, but yes, his point about where exactly did nuclear technology come from is, I mean, you could say that the records were destroyed in the war, but yeah, I gotta look into that. Let's see what else we got. We got some funny stuff now. Enjoy.
Trump, what up, Trump? I'm tuning into CNN to see what they say next. They call me homophobic, but I love gay sex. They call me racist, but my wife's son's black. Drag queens show me love, I show them love back. And I don't get it, they call me anti-Semitic, but I love Jews. Honestly, no one's above Jews. Israel's the greatest ally our country could ever have, and I'd gladly die for them. Put me in a body bag, give them all our money, 11 million a day. Man, that's not enough, we need to triple the pay. And the last thing I'ma say, before I go away, is I don't mind being replaced as long as it's legal, eh?
Hey, they saying you that MAGA boy. Base. Call me what you want, cause that don't matter, boy. Base. I just speak the truth, that's something they don't understand. Why these white liberals trying to tell me who I am? Don't put me in groups, cause I'm my
own. What else do we got? Random Vox Pop.
Would you rather date a liberal or an illegal immigrant?
Illegal.
Why?
Man, liberals are mentally ill. Plus, they're usually whores. With the illegal immigrant, maybe you'll find a Muslim who has a low body count. But if they're an American, it's like Lenny Kravitz said, American woman, stay the f*** away from me.
Are you really kidding me?
Not at all.
You are a piece of shit.
Who asked for your opinion?
Who asked for your opinion? You're on a public
Are you drunk, ma'am? Are you drunk, ma'am?
Are you delusional?
Stop doing drugs.
You drunk.
And this is exactly why the 19th Amendment should be repealed, right here. This woman knows nothing about politics. She has no sense about history, but she just wants to run her mouth. This is exactly what's going on.
Dude, that is...
Why are you here? No one asked you to be here. So go over there, talk to whoever you want. You're not wanted here. Bye-bye. Go.
I'm not leaving.
No, I mean, see, this is the problem with this country, man. These women come over here, they start talking, and nobody even wants them there.
Women come over here.
Why are you here? No one wants to talk to you.
No one wants to listen to your
You're here, though. I'm not coming to you. You're coming to me. By the way, why are you... It's a Cleveland show. Why don't you cover up? You need some fucking Islam in your life. You need some Islam in your life. Go find Jesus Christ.
Miami, dude. People walk around in bikinis.
Thank you for not wearing that. I do appreciate that.
I am covered up.
Well, you know, when you grade on a curve of Miami, that's basically comparing yourself to whores and tramps and stuff like that. This is pure comedy. Again, another reason why the 19th Amendment should have been repealed. And again, the 19th Amendment did more damage than COVID-19. Why are you...
Hey, don't touch people's cameras and stuff. Oh, wow.
Yeah, actually, let's ask him. Let's ask him. He's a non-white person. Let's ask him, man. You think this woman's drunk?
No, I think she should cover up, though. I think she's got her tits out. You're a little too old to be doing that.
You asked for it.
Sorry.
It's true.
Looks great.
I'm okay with that.
Women always give their opinion when they're not even wanted. Example right here.
Dude, you're such...
Beast. Oh, dude. Hilarious. What's this?
Men without cocks. You wouldn't find me fighting in an army if I had no cock. What's left to fight for? Gold? I spent my life around soldiers. What do you think they spend that gold on? Family. Not without a cock, you don't. Maybe it really is all cocks in the end.
Now that's some very deep wisdom there. What else we got? Weird bed designs.
Whenever we argue with our wives, they always kick us out of bed and make us sleep on the floor while they stay comfortably in bed. It's totally unfair. So I invented this, if I can't sleep, no one can bed. Now let my good friend show you how it works. When you're lying on this bed, if your wife tries to kick you off, the device will automatically activate. See that? If I can't sleep, no one can. Super practical. And when we sleep with our wives, they always want us to gently pat them to sleep like a baby. It's exhausting and totally wears us out. So I invented this pat to sleep helper bed. Now, once again, let my good friend show you how it works. When our wife starts acting cute and asks us to pat her to sleep, we just secretly press the remote. Did you see that? This way, our wife fell asleep instantly.
Bruh. Bit of Joe Rogan.
So I went to the beach that makes you old.
You went to the what?
The beach that makes you old.
The beach that makes you old?
Yeah, man, the beach that makes you old.
Excuse me?
I gotta tell you about this beach. It made me old.
You have to know that's not possible.
Look at me, man. I'm old as hell. And it's because I went to the beach that makes you old.
There are a million reasons why you might look the way you look. I'm not going to entertain the idea that a beach could make you old.
Wait, actually, I think it's the rocks on the beach, not the beach itself. Something to do with the cliffs?
What are you talking about?
Had to swim through coral to get out.
Stop.
But I'm still old.
Enough. Let's say, hypothetically, that a beach could actually make you old.
The rocks.
The rocks. Let's say the rocks could make you old. How much of you is getting old? Does your metabolism speed up? Do you need to pee more frequently?
Man, listen.
Do your fingernails grow faster?
Man.
Your hair?
I don't know, man. I just got old.
I'm finding it hard to believe. It doesn't hold together logically.
I don't know what to tell you. I wasn't old, and now I'm old. I think it was because I went to the beach that makes you old.
This is all pretty ridiculous.
You want to see for yourself?
Sure. Why not?
You can go to the beach if you want. But you'll get old.
I doubt it.
Look at how fucking old I am.
I'm not going to get old.
You will get old.
I won't.
You will.
The beach will not make me old.
Okay, man. But don't say I didn't warn you about getting old. Jamie, pull up the directions to the beach that makes you old.
I'm not going to get old on the beach.
Good luck, man. Hey.
Hey. I got old.
So I went to the beach that makes you old.
You went to the what?
The beach that makes...
I know where it's from. Right, Cedes sent me this. Thanks very much, Cedes.
Every time you turn on the TV, you see women in films reacting stoically, controlling emotions, staying calm in high-pressure situations.
Doing math?
Giving men the false impression that this is somehow what they should be expecting from a woman's personality.
Whether that's Kristen Ritter not wanting to talk about her feelings in Jessica Jones, or Charlize Theron's short, concise, data-driven answers to questions in Mad Max, I don't think these filmmakers realize or care about the harm they are doing by asking women to live up to those unattainable, emotional, and storytelling ideals.
I had a friend come up to me recently complaining that his date took forever to get ready. They missed the previews. Then she started crying as if this is some abnormal event. I had to grab the guy and say, Dave, I don't know what you saw in Girl with a Dragon Tattoo, but this is what a woman looks like without having her personality airbrushed by Hollywood.
That's why I so much appreciate what they are doing on The View.
Yes.
Personality, positivity, showing what a real woman looks like completely unshackled from whether statistics or evidence even remotely lines up with the points they are making.
I want to also applaud the makers of The View for just putting their raw, undesirable personalities out there, flaws and all, so men can see a realistic depiction of what to expect from a woman.
What else have we got? Yeah, this is good. Happy 4th of July, Ameri Bros. I hope I'm in the US for the next one for the 250th. That's going to be like so lit.
Why don't you leave your number? And if I see something, I'll give you a call. What's your number? 1-800-JERK-OFF? Fireworks. I didn't see anything. Fireworks are illegal. What are you out of your mind? We don't do that over here. Let's take a fucking hike, pal. There's nothing going on over here. They came back there for the fireworks. I don't know. What fireworks? There's nothing going on over here, pal. Why does everybody keep saying fireworks? We didn't see anything, so... I don't know, it was sparklers maybe, that's it. Yeah, it was a little sparkler. Small sparkler. What the fuck's this shirt go fucking at?
What else we got? Right, cute animal time. Enjoy.
Drink! Faster, mate! Faster! Are you sure this is gonna work? I'm telling you, if we drink the water, the fish are easier to catch. They can't do jack shit without water. Yeah, but my tummy hurts. I feel bloated. Oh, harden the fuck up. Piss it out. Keep drinking. I sometimes wonder how we're friends. Drink! Faster, mate! Faster! Are you sure this is gonna work? I'm telling you, if we drink...
What else have we got? Kitty wrestling.
Wait a minute, look at this! Mark looks at, I think, pull the cameraman! 16, a death-defying leap! Wait a minute, look at this!
I don't like how it repeats like that. Right. Doggos with sticks. Who doesn't like doggos with sticks?
Stick? Yeah?
Here we go.
Oh, really?
Get it off the couch.
Take it out.
All right, come on, keep working. Come on.
I'm gonna totally abuse it. I hit so much stuff. Do not get into my way because I found a stick and fucking my dog.
You go through, mate. Can't have this in the house. Leave it.
No, you go straight on, mate. You go straight on. You're doing a good job. That's a good well done. Good boy.
Oh.
Made up.
What is that? That's not even a stick. That's a part of the house. Where did you get that?
No, Missy.
Aw. Man, they're so happy with the stick. God. Random Huskies. Oh man, Huskies are so cute, but so psycho. Speaking of psycho Huskies. He's just trying to pet the kitty. Aww. Derpy Goldens. That's one tasty wall. More Huskies. Right, just some cute ones to finish off. It just wants to warm its toesies. Right, our final cute animal video of the night. Kitten with deer. Come on, who doesn't like that? So cute. Right, and that's the end of the show. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. I will be on Discord and Dragons in about an hour and a half. Let's just say goodbye to everyone in the chat. On Rumble, Total Blackout Painting, Seti Sapiente, Wyatt's Torch, Ardent Party, Years the Eunuch, I think she's gone, Human Shit Show, Mikey Bikey, I know Teabagging Therapist was in there as well, somewhere. GDL Science and News, Mick Zen, Edie Wolf, Captain Crisps, good to see you, mate. Anybody else? I think that might be everyone. Apologies if I missed anybody. On YouTube, Streaky Bacon, Robert Verlinden, Otto Stormhart, Bats Klutweik, Janice, Robert Verlinden, Otto Stormhart, Anti-Whiteism Ends With You. Is that everybody? Oh no, 007 was in here as well. Sunny Jim. Who else? I think that's everybody. Linda Hunter. And thank you very much to our super chatters, MK, Sheev, Palpa Cringe, and Mikey Bikey. And on Odyssey, we have MK, Machine for Baked Beans, Evola 19, and I think that's everyone. I've run out of history on Odyssey. Right, I'll see you all on Discord and Dragons later tonight. Otherwise, I will be back on Thursday night for another Habbening TV. Oh, and of course, Livia Drusilla. I forgot that you were in the chat, Livia. I'll see you on Thursday night. Have a good week, everyone. Good night.